On her way home, a girl encountered a traffic accident, but instead of calling the police, she used needle and thread to connect the two men together. Then she used the car's momentum to return their weapons to their hands. Soon gunshots rang out, and the girl quickly reversed back. She picked up the briefcase from the ground and was about to leave when she remembered her needle and thread. However, when she went to retrieve her needles and thread, one needle was missing. So she hurriedly examined the bodies and found that one needle had pierced into a palm. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't pull it out. Left with no choice, the girl had to cut off the needle head that bore her name, but she used too much force and the needlehead flew away. The girl had to search for it, unaware that the man in the cap behind her had regained consciousness. Seeing that the girl hadn't noticed him, the man in the cap reached for a gun nearby, but as the girl searched for the needlehead and looked back, she spotted the man's movement. She quickly rushed forward to grab the gun, but couldn't bring herself to pull the trigger. Since cars could come along the highway at any time, the girl quickly cleaned up the scene and took the man in the cap home. Back at home, the man in the cap told the girl that the briefcase belonged to his boss. If the girl didn't return the briefcase, the boss would definitely send people to look for it. Hearing this, the girl immediately became nervous. She had just gotten her hands on the briefcase and didn't even know what was inside, yet it was already bringing her danger. The contents must be extremely valuable. With this thought, the girl began setting traps. She wanted to use the traps to make the man in the cap and his boss fight each other, so she could escape with the briefcase. However, just as the girl finished setting the traps, the car appeared outside. The girl quickly hid. At this moment, the boss also pushed the door open, but the instant he pushed the door, the trap was triggered. Soon the man in the cap fell down the stairs, while the boss's hand was entangled by the thread and pulled into the air. By the time the man in the cap reached the bottom of the stairs, his weapon had also fallen, but when the man in the cap was about to shoot the boss, he discovered that the gun was out of bullets. Meanwhile, the boss also broke free from the thread and fired several shots at the man in the cap. Hearing the gunshots, the girl quickly got up and ran toward the back door, but no matter how fast she ran, she couldn't outrun bullets. The boss shot the girl in the thigh. Seeing the girl fall, he quickly approached, took out needle and thread to bind the girl, and with slight pressure, the girl lost consciousness. When the boss opened the briefcase and saw the untouched money inside, he turned and left. But what would have happened if the girl had called the police? Let's go back to the accident scene where the girl discovered the incident and quickly called the police. The police received the call and quickly arrived at the scene. Looking at the scene, the police immediately recognized this as criminals turning on each other. But apart from the goods at the scene, no money was found. There were only 4 people at the scene to lying on the ground, 1 police officer, and the girl who had called the police. So the police suspected the girl had hidden the money. The police then began examining the girl's car and discovered a coil tied to the back of the vehicle. When the police opened the cover, they indeed found the briefcase.